Most OSINT tutorials on YouTube will tell you the exact same thing. You fire up Kali Linux, you open up Firefox and you start digging. There's just one major problem with this advice. Yes, you are unique among 5 million fingerprints in our entire dataset. Congratulations, you've just handed every site you visit your real IP, your browser fingerprint, your screen resolution, your time zone, your fonts, your GPU. Basically a digital passport says, hey, this is me, remember me forever. If you're investigating someone, the last thing you want is them investigating you back. And if you think a VPN can actually save you, it doesn't, it's not even close. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can build a proper OSINT lab. One that's isolated, it is disposable, it leaves zero trace on your machine. Every single session that you run lives in its own isolated container, it lives in the browser, and whenever you close it, it is gone. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. My name is Gerard. On this channel, I try to teach stuff that you can't really learn in courses, detailed projects that resemble something that you would do in real life. Now, if you're studying for your Pen Test Plus, or maybe you're just doing some CTFs, or maybe you're just starting your OSINT journey like me, then stick around. This video, I'm going to show you a really cool platform that will really help you in your OSINT journey. Before we do anything, let me show you the actual problem. If I browse to amiunique.org, I hit see my fingerprint. What this is telling us is that you are unique among the 5 million items in their entire dataset. Now, how is that doing that? That is pulling all this information from your browser. It sees what OS I'm on, the browser, it has all of this different information about me. This means if I visit a target's website, their analytics platform for the website, whether it's Google or Cloudflare, whatever they use, they can properly identify me every time I visit. Now, here's the thing about VPN and why everybody assumes that VPN actually comes in and hides your identity. This is the browserleaks.com website. So I've loaded up, this is my IP and the canvas fingerprint. So the fingerprint from my browser, as you can see, this is the signature ID. Now I've connected to VPN. So as you can see here now, my IP has actually changed. My location has changed. Take a look at the signature. It's absolutely identical across the two different connections. VPN is great because it hides where you're connecting from, but it doesn't actually hide who I am. Now imagine you were investigating a threat actor and you visit their site, their social profile, their dodgy forum, and then they go and check their logs. They're going to see the same fingerprint hitting them multiple times from different locations over the same week. That's just an indication to them that someone's actually watching. So the question is, how do professionals handle these types of investigations? They don't really trust their own machines. They have disposable, isolated environments. Every single investigation gets a fresh, clean browser. And then whenever they're done with that investigation, the browser is just destroyed. Now the tool I use for this, and the tool I'm going to show you today, is called KASM Workspaces. Now, full disclosure up front, KASM are the sponsor of today's video, and to be totally honest, I was using KASM before they even contacted me. I used it previously whenever I was building some of my hacking labs, and honestly, I really like the tool. So what actually is KASM Workspaces? So KASM, in one sentence, is a platform that lets you run applications, browsers, desktops. You can run full Linux environments, and they're all ran inside isolated Docker containers. Now, the nice thing on top of that is that these are actually streamed to you over a browser. You don't have to go in and manage all of these Docker containers on your own. Whenever you want to open an isolated environment like Firefox, for example, all I have to do is click on it and click on launch session. That is going to launch a new Docker container, an isolated environment in my browser. It's going to open up in a new tab. Everything I do inside this Docker container, this isolated version of Firefox, is just here. It's in this one session, and as soon as I close that session, it's completely gone. We're going to walk through this entire build. I'm going to show you how you can build KASM and how you can add all of these various different workloads. And there is one extra thing that I'm going to show you is not only do you have an isolated workload, you can route all traffic out through a separate VPN. So let's get KASM Workspaces set up. Over here on the KASM website, we're going to look at the operating system requirements. This is a bunch of the different Linux versions that are supported. I'm actually going to install this on Ubuntu 24.4. I have this VM already created and I've done all of the updates, so I'm ready to go. If you move down, we'll just look at the actual resource requirements. You can see here for CPU, you need 2 cores, you need 4 gig of RAM, and you also need 75 gig on an SSD. On my side, I've actually given this 2 cores. In terms of RAM, I've given it 20 gig of RAM, and for storage, I went with 75 gig. If you just want to run something like Firefox or something like that, and just one at a time, then these resources should be enough. That's why I've given mine a little bit more. I want to run maybe 2, maybe 3 workspaces at the same time. Now to install KASM, all you have to do is come over to this page. In here, look down for the standard install. The install is literally one command. All you have to do is copy this. Now let's go over to Proxmox and we're going to get the IP address of this server. So it's IPA, what is it? So it is 10.96.12.114. Let's open up a terminal. SSH Gerard at 10.96.12.114. Enter. Let's clear the screen. Okay, all we have to do is paste that command in, hit enter, and that is going to go pull down the install and just do everything for us. So after a little while you will see this screen. So this is all of the credentials that you need to access KASM. So you want to copy these. And it's going to copy all of those. I'm going to save them. So now we have a copy of them. We can close this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to browse to that server. 10.96.12.114. Let's go in here, hit proceed. And voila, this is it. You should see the KASM Workspaces has spun up. How easy is that to install? So let's log in. I'm initially going to log in here as admin. So it's admin@kasm.local and then put in the password. Hit login. Now this is going to take us into the admin side of KASM. As you can see over here, the Workspaces side. So this is the front end. Now there's nothing actually installed. This is the base image. If you don't have anything installed, all you get is this background. So let's go back to admin and we'll take a look around. So here you have on the left, you have Workspaces. This is all of the items that you're going to make available for the user to click through, like Firefox and stuff. This one here is registry. So this is where you can actually go to choose all of the different items that you want to make available via the Workspaces. If you look here, there's absolutely loads. There's currently 73 different workspaces that you can choose from. Now we will choose a handful of these, especially around the OSINT side. Under sessions here, you can see you have sessions, you've got history. Sessions will show up here whenever you start to open some of the containers, and you'll see those sessions open whenever you actually open them via the Workspaces page. We're going to run through the majority of these things anyway. Let's first of all get something available so we can log in and just see what it looks like. So if you come over here to registry, let's add our first item. I'm just going to add Firefox, do a search. All you do is click install. So now that's going to go and actually get that installed. So if you go over here to install Workspaces, you can see the status. That's currently pulling down the container image for Firefox, and that will store that on the KASM server. After a couple of minutes, you will see that this has actually been installed. You can see the total size here is 2.8 gig. Now, if you want to see that available via the Workspaces, just come back over here. And you can see that there now, that is ready to go. If I want to open this, all I have to do is click on the Firefox icon. And it's going to ask me a few things here. Do I want to open in the current session, as in this window, or do I want to open in a new tab or a new window? I just always choose new tab just so I can keep my workloads open. Once you click on that, then that opens the container and you can see that actually running in the background. God, that was fast. That's it. That's how simple and easy it is to build these isolated containers. Now, the one thing to remember here is that right now Firefox is, yes, it's on a disposable container, but it's still connecting out via my home internet. So my IP is visible here from this machine. Now I am going to set up the VPN. Now, I have my own separate subscription to NordVPN that I use. I'm going to set that up in KASM so I can route all traffic out of this Firefox browser out through that VPN. That way it's a fresh browser, fresh fingerprint, and all of my traffic is being routed out through a separate VPN. So let's just close this. Whenever you hit leave page, you're going to come back over here. Now you can see this is the Firefox container that we had. Let's go back over to admin. I want to show you what that looks like. So in here, we're going to come down to sessions. We're going to click in sessions. And here you can see this Firefox. This is this container that's running. So I move across, you can see its container IP. If I go in here, you can see some of the additional configurations and settings that you can choose. This is the spec of the actual container. The VPN section that I mentioned here, egress, that's something that we'll set up in a few seconds. So now Firefox is there. Let's get some of the other OSINT things that I want to run. Let's get them installed. So I'm going to come over here to the registry. I'm going to search for the Trace Labs. That is the OSINT VM by Trace Labs. If you haven't seen them, by the way, it's really cool. I'll leave the link in the description below to check out. So hit install. I'm going to come back here to the registry again and think about some of the other stuff that I want. I might add the Tor browser just to have it. Hit install. You can, if you want, add Kali. I'm not really going to add Kali here because I have that Trace Labs VM. Some of the other tools that I would probably add is Spiderfoot, but if I type in OSINT here, you'll see there is these different options. Spiderfoot, I'm going to hit that one. I want to install that one. Forensic OSINT, this is a Ubuntu desktop with Google Chrome. That's interesting. Maltego, that is another good tool. I'm just going to get that installed. So let's go back over here to the workspaces. I want to look at the stuff that I've actually got up and going. So I've got Firefox, Maltego, Spiderfoot, the Tor browser, and Trace Labs. Now, the thing I mentioned earlier at the start of the video is unless you have a really powerful machine, you're not going to be able to run all these at the same time. So you might have Firefox open and maybe the Trace Labs VM open. If you want to run any of the other things, you might need to shut Firefox or the other ones down. So let's just go back over to the registry. I want to check the status of these so you can see they're currently going to the install. So I can see here Trace Labs is 12.4 gig. That might take a little bit of time just to download, but let's check out what we have available already. So come over here to workspaces and you can see these items. You've got Firefox, Maltego, Trace Labs, which is actually still downloading, Spiderfoot, and the Tor browser. Now you can open multiple different things. If I wanted to have two separate Firefox browsers, remember they are two isolated containers, I can just click on it again, open up new tab, and this is going to launch a brand new session, so a brand new container. Like, I can't believe how fast that is to actually build that container in the background and actually bring it up. So now we have added all of the workspaces that we need. Let's go and get the VPN set up. My end goal here is to have all of my traffic from those isolated containers routed out via the VPN. To get VPN up and going, you're going to need your own VPN subscription. I've been using Nord over the last couple of years and I found it pretty good. What we need to do is we need to log in here and look for the manual setup. We need to download the OpenVPN config files. Now, as you can see when you're in here, there's lots of different ones to choose from and it is broken up by country. I'm going to come over here to server recommendation. It's going to recommend a server that's close to me. Now from here, I could easily just get the OpenVPN UDP configuration files from here. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click on download UDP. Now say I wanted to connect to the US or somewhere like that. All I would have to do is search for the US and then I can download that particular config file as well. So now we have those. Let's go back over to KASM and under infrastructure, you're going to go down here to egress providers. I'm going to click on add. I'm going to give mine a name as NordVPN. Select the OpenVPN as the egress provider, click on save, and let's just go back in here. We want to make some changes to the settings. You want to go to egress gateways and I'm going to click on add. So give it a name. I'm going to comment NordVPN IE, country, I'll just do IE for Ireland, city, Dublin. Then the configuration file. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to open up the UDP configuration file that I've just downloaded. Make sure you open up the specific one for that country. So I'm opening up the IE one. I'm just going to copy all of that. I'm going to paste that in here. Perfect. Hit save. And while we're here, let's add the other one. USA. Let's go back and get the config file, and then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to paste that in and hit save. Okay, so we have two now. We have the IE and I have the US. So now that is done, let's go over to access management. We want to go to groups, then we want to go to all users. I'm just going to come in here and make some changes. Hit edit. Now you want to go all the way over here. You want to go to egress. Let's just hit add, and then you want to add the NordVPN that we just created. Click on save. Then we're going to come over to egress credentials. We're going to click on add. You select the egress provider NordVPN that you've just created. Now it's going to ask you for a name, a username, and a password. You do get these credentials from your VPN provider. So if I go back to NordVPN, under here you can see service credentials. I need to verify my email in order to get them. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to KASM. Let's put that in there. I'm going to grab the password. and put it in there. Okay, so egress provider, we have the name, NordVPN service creds, and I have my username and my password. Let's just move down and click on save. Now that should be everything that we need to do in order to get the VPN configured. If we go back over to Workspaces, and the next time I try to open up one of these options like Firefox, for example, it should give me this extra option here. So I can choose open in a new tab, then I can choose my VPN egress provider. Now that I've done this, it actually brings me up some other options. I can choose the country that I want to connect to, whether it's Ireland or the USA. Say for example, I click on the USA. I can choose the city and then the egress USA, so that's fine. And then all we do is click on launch session. So that's going to build that container in the background. It's going to open it up and then it should connect to the VPN as well. Okay, there you go. So it's connecting to VPN. Now it is connected. So let's just go to browserleaks.com and let's just see where we are. The US, New York. So now that is done, let's go and check our canvas fingerprint again. What have we got? So we can see this one ends in 407A9, and then this one over here. This one is from my actual laptop, and you can see this one is different. Now there is one thing you can change within Firefox. So whenever you're in your Firefox, your KASM workspace, you want to come up here to settings, and you may want to change some stuff in here like your privacy and security. You might want to change this to strict. If you change it to strict, this actually blocks them from being able to actually get your fingerprint as well, which is probably what I would do. But the only issue of making changes in the settings here is that every time you spin it up a new container, these are going to be gone. Now there is an easy workaround around that. KASM have a thing where you can implement persistent settings and persistent profiles within the container itself. So that's something I'm probably going to implement and play around with. To be totally honest, I might even make a whole new video about that. There's a lot of different stuff that you could potentially do. You could create your own containers and you could have them spin up. I assume most people here will want to download browser add-ons and things like that as well, and you want them to be there every time you open up a container. So that's definitely something I'm going to look into the next time. But there you go, that is KASM Workspaces. It is a really cool tool. Check it out. You can use it for more than just OSINT. I've used it for all different types of stuff, especially doing some of my security certifications and stuff. It's been really, really helpful. It is completely free. It is over on the KASM web website. I will leave a link in the description below. Go and check it out, and it could be a nice little weekend project for you. I want to thank KASM for supporting my channel and for sponsoring this video. I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.